Welcome back for another episode of the Bald Brad Show. It is the last week. Woo! We did it, folks. We made it through 4 years of Joe Biden in office. I mean, I don't want to go down memory lane here. It was terrible. It was so bad. No, it was terrible. It really, and it was bad. Joey will be walking out of that White House on Monday, thank the Lord, and never returning. Never returning. So, we got a lot of news to cover today. It's good to see all of you. Mind you, this is a Friday episode, and if you're new to the show, well, Friday episodes are a little bit different. It's the end of the week. It's the end of the news cycle. We kind of hash out old stories that we didn't cover throughout the week. We spend a little bit more time reading the chat, answering some people's questions, and just kind of hanging out and relaxing a little bit and having a good damn time because we made it through another week. So, shout out to everybody over at Rumble. Shout out to everybody over at the ScrewTube. And I don't know what happened to our podcast yesterday, but I want to give all of you a shout out because by you hitting that like button, I think contributed a lot. Our podcast yesterday, you guys, just on YouTube alone is like 1,100, 1,200 views and listens. So I don't know what happened. And then you count what's taking place on X and then over at Rumble. I mean, we're hitting sometimes 2,000 to 3,000 views or downloads a day, folks. So we're making a difference here. And damn, excuse me, tomorrow's my birthday. You just almost killed me, HK. I almost died. Well, happy early birthday. Shout out to you. 21, man. That's crazy. 21. Actually, I don't know if HK is really 21 or not, but happy early birthday and welcome to the community. I don't know if I've seen the name before. Doesn't look too familiar, but, you know, sometimes I mess up and it's morning. I'm not fully working. The brain's not processing correctly. I'm like Joe Biden. Well, folks, I hate to break the news to you, but as you see in the title, Trump inauguration under threat. And this came to my attention actually a couple days ago. I wanted to sit on it for a bit, so I'm aware of what's actually happening regarding the White House press briefings. And he made a statement, and it just really rubbed me the wrong way, big time, and just like living rent free in my head for a couple days here. Well, Jake Sullivan was doing his farewell address on the podium the other day. This is like 2-3 days ago. And he said this. I'm sure some of you might have seen this clip. If not, tell me why he would say something like this.
I hope this is my last time at this podium, at least for a little while. I don't mean that in a negative sense. I mean, the only thing that would bring me back is an unexpected event in the next few days, which, as you all know, is totally possible given everything you've seen over the course of the past years. But if it is, in fact, my last time before you, I just want to say thank you for what you guys do every day. Thank you for, I hope this is.
I'm just going to play that again.
My last time at this podium, at least for a little while. I don't mean that in a negative sense. I mean, the only thing that would bring me back is an unexpected event in the next few days, which, as you all know, is totally possible given everything. Unexpected event in the next few days. Unexpected event in the next few days. Which unexpected event in the next few days. Which, as you all know, unexpected event in the next few days. Which, as you all know, is
totally possible. Now, why would you say that? Why would you say that? Now, there was a terrorist attack that took place in New Orleans. There are sleeper cells that we know of. This isn't like make-believe, that are currently residing in the United States. From my understanding, they still have not found the 5 teams of Iranians that are here to try to assassinate Donald Trump. It is from my understanding that they have not also found the surface-to-air missiles that were smuggled through the southern border by the Iranians. And what the whole purpose of that was, to take out Donald Trump's plane. Haven't found, I think they found maybe 1 or 2. I could be wrong on that. Somebody might have an update for me. This is scary. Donald Trump has already had multiple assassination attempts on his life. There was 2 people that were just arrested like a week ago, folks, for showing up at the Capitol wanting to kill Donald Trump. That didn't make mega news. We actually didn't even cover it here. I don't want him getting out of that motorcade. And we're streaming live, by the way. We are streaming live, obviously, now. But we are streaming live on Monday. Folks, we were one of the few streamers, people live for Donald Trump's assassination attempt. Yeah, remember JFK? Hey, and you guys are calling it out, deep state? Well, check this out. I don't know what's going on with my voice. One second. I don't know what's going on there. There is a massive security implementation going on. And what I mean by that, somebody posted here, Destiny, that Washington, D.C. is on high alert as 5,000 troops are deployed. Now, I don't know how true this is. What I find weird is it says for the 60th presidential inauguration. But I wouldn't put it past having troops there. It does make me a little bit worrisome if that is in fact true. It does make me feel a little bit better, but there is a, quote, high threat level taking place for the inauguration. I don't know about you guys. That is not news I want to hear. Now, this popped off last night. I already had this whole show planned in the sense of Trump inauguration under threat. But this sucker released last night where Department of Energy helicopters are conducting scans over Washington, D.C. for, get this, nuclear irregularities.
An exclusive look at how security officials are prepared after months of planning.
So, crane to your left.
Got it.
From only 150 feet in the air, pilots dodge buildings.
And tower to your left side.
Got it.
Flying in a grid over the National Mall to scan for radiological or nuclear irregularities, threats like dirty bombs.
So you're trying to create a blueprint of what the radiation in Washington, D.C. looks like ahead of the inauguration. Correct.
Department of Energy scientist Jacqueline Brandon calls this low-flying helicopter one of just two of its kind, her office.
If we find a radiological irregularity, we'll investigate it even further.
Highly sensitive technology sets off alarms in the air.
That's an alarm.
That is an alarm. It's a slight variation in our spectra is what it's saying.
An exclusive look at how security...
Now, how does this play into everything? Well, like I mentioned, you got the Iranian teams here. You have thousands of sleeper cells here. There is, and I don't want this to happen. I just want to be clear. Obviously, I don't want this to happen. But would there be a greater event to happen when you have codename Superbad, Sarah Adams talking about how they want to go after the Capitol and how they've been planning for an attack for like a year now or a year and a half. And it's not like it's just one or two guys in robes in the middle of a cave. These people are being fully funded by Joe Biden and our government, where they're getting millions of dollars every single week to fund their administration, like their administrative buildings, their services, their staffing. I mean, we are actually funding full-fledged terrorism, and we allow them to come through the southern border. Now they've been here for 4 years in some cases. We don't know when and where they're going to attack. She's saying Capitol. She has not been wrong. She has not been wrong, by the way, which makes me a little bit worrisome. Guys, I want to point out, does everybody realize the Taliban actually has American hostages? That is something we've never brought up on the show here. The Taliban, that Joe Biden's giving $87 million a week to plus, has American hostages and isn't willing to let them go. We know for a fact there's two of them sharing the same cell. There's a third one. And the United States government kept it under wraps. They even told the family themselves, hey, don't say anything. This is why you guys come to the Bald Brad Show. This is why you go to small outlets, because we don't hide stuff from you. We make sure we get out the real news, the truth to the American people. And what Joe Biden has done to this country is crippling. What he has done in foreign policy is crippling. Donald Trump has a lot of work ahead of him, and we need him in office. But with this threat level going on right now, folks, I am worried. Big time. Big time. I don't care if there's 5,000 troops. Bump it up to 20. Bump it up to 50. I would love a 1-to-1 ratio. This has me worried. And it also has me worried, not just from terrorists, but the way the Democrat Party has been talking for the last few years. He's a threat to democracy. He's a threat to the Constitution. He's a threat to the Republic. We got to do everything we can to make sure he doesn't get in office. Blah, blah, blah. And then you have Jake Sullivan standing on the podium of like, well, I hope this is the last time you've seen me, but, you know, something might happen in a couple days. Not good. Not good at all. Not to mention, Donald Trump's inauguration is expected to have significant law enforcement and military presence in what is designed as a high threat environment. So this is kind of the spread they're going to have going on here. Law enforcement and military personnel. So they'll have over 25,000 law enforcement and military personnel on site. That includes 4,000 officers, 7,800 National Guard members, the full activation of the DC Police Department. The security measures taking place here are 30 miles of anti-scale fencing will be installed. And I believe, obviously, a lot of this stuff is already installed. A fleet of drones will be used for surveillance. This is also what worries me. And this is something you guys heard from Dan Bongino and others, is the use of a drone assassination. That is what worries me as well. If you have drones flying in the air, are we going to be so sure that we know who's who and what's what? United States Secret Service says, don't be alarmed by the amount of drones you see. Well, I don't exactly have full faith in these guys right now. I mean, the amount of assassination attempts, and one of which actually hit Donald Trump, is mind-blowing. Not to mention the guy that was in the bushes, that was waiting there for 12 hours at Donald Trump's golf course, that was going to be within mere like 10 feet of Donald Trump. Did you know the Secret Service guy, the amount of shots he got off, he just missed every single one of them? She's like, oh shit, there's that guy in the bush. I don't have a lot of faith in the United States Secret Service. There will be extensive road closures. Okay, that's kind of nice, but we'll see, because you know who also said there was road closures and blockways? You want to know who said that? Yeah, New Orleans. Yeah, New Orleans did road closures too, and a bunch of people got mowed over and died. Yeah. So I always take this with a grain of salt, man. Unless my eyes are on the ground and I'm seeing full-fledged the security around and I feel good, then, you know, we're good. Stephen says Trump should not be doing his rally on Sunday and Monday. Just go straight inside and get sworn in. F the rally. F the Pennsylvania walk. Yes, I agree. Yeah. Oh, I agree. Bro, just go in and get your stuff done. I know that's a victory thing, but dude, I'm freaking nervous. The recent CR bill includes $90 million for costs associated with presidential inauguration. I think Zuckerberg and Bezos and a bunch of people gave some money, but we'll see. I wanted to make sure I led with that story because I think that's the most important one before we head off into the weekend here. Knowing, hey, things aren't exactly going that great in the preparation of the inauguration. So we're going to see here, but buckle up. Again, we'll be live for that, folks. I would love for you to join us, even if it's for a little bit. Drop in, say hi, say what's up. We'll be streaming for quite some time, and I'll be crapping my pants if Donald Trump gets out of that motorcade. I was looking at the setup, and let me see if I can pull it up in real time. Usually I'm okay at that. I did not see bulletproof glass. So that had me a little worried yesterday when there was a reporter that was looking at the inauguration and the setup of it, and I didn't see the glass yet. Maybe they just had not installed it. But I mean, the chairs were there, the speakers under the seating was there. I hope that there is. I hope that there is. So we'll make sure we kind of give you updates as time goes on. Well, in other news here, Joy Behar is mourning the loss, or rather, I guess, my man, mourning losing Joe Biden, I guess we can call it. So Joy Behar is mourning Biden leaving office. I miss him already. Slingy's just an idiot. So let's see if this is actually the clip of her saying it or not. I don't know. I'm going to subject you to this while I have to sit through it too. Oh, thank you.
Now it's your turn to stand guard.
Yeah.
So I miss him already. I miss him. He's a good person. You know, he spent the last 50 years caring about the country. This other one spent 50 years scamming everybody, you know, and trying to stay out of jail. You know who I'm talking about. You know, I really miss Biden. I feel like we were safe. Like, I didn't have to worry.
I feel like we were safe. You guys, I know I don't need to preach to the choir here. This is called a dum-dum. This is a person that you would never want you to lead, give advice to. This is the person you want to keep your kids away from. This is somebody that is a knucklehead. I'm trying to keep it PG for my New Year's resolution.
Everything going to blow up. Well, I could live my life while he was there. Now, every day I wake up and I worry, what is this guy going to do next? Yeah. And these oligarchs, can I just say one more thing and then I'll shut up?
No. You don't have to shut up.
They need to start shelling their money out. These guys, Bezos and what's his name? Musk. They give it to Trump. Yeah. Do they think that they're going to live forever, these people? You know, everybody dies. I hate to break it to them, but you are not going to live forever. According to the World Food Program, we could end world hunger by 2030 with $40 billion. That's all it would take. And he, Elon Musk, his net worth grew by $170 billion in the month after the election.
You guys, I think we've all been here. When somebody says something so stupid and says a lot of stupid things, you almost don't know where to start. She misses him already. This is the same lady. I just want to point out, because it was one of the funniest things I've ever heard somebody say in my life. There was a scenario where Kamala Bryant, a black woman, had a knife in her hand. And then she goes up and she's running at another individual, and I'm not exaggerating this one bit. We have the clip. About this far from the lady's neck by the time the cop shot her. So Kamala Bryant stabbing another black chick. A white cop is on foot. He's like, fucking shit, I'm going to save someone's life today. And he goes, pow, pow, pow. And he puts her down, kills her. I'm not exaggerating this one bit. It was the funniest videos I've ever seen. Joy Behar goes, well, couldn't the cop have just done a warning shot, or shoot him in the leg, or shoot him in the buttocks? This is how stupid this lady is. And she gets paid millions. So she says, I miss him. He's a good person. No, he's not. He's a good person. What is up with everybody going, hey, he's a good guy? Oh, yeah, he destroyed the country. 9.1% inflation. Terrible foreign policy. Allowed people to drop from the skies. Not raiding cats and dogs, but raiding Afghans. The list goes on and on. Allow the Iranians to flourish. You're allowing the Russians to flourish by not giving them sanctions on their gas, but you're willing to give them sanctions on their gas so that it hurts Donald Trump because it's going to increase our gas prices. And people expect us now to blame Donald Trump for the rise of gas prices, but in actuality, it was Joe Biden. I mean, you allowed 10.5 plus million illegal aliens to pour across the country. There's terrorists, there's sex traffickers. But hey, he's a good guy. You know, he spent the last 50 years caring about the country. Shit. What else you got for us, Joy, here? It's a good name for her, because I get a lot of joy out of hearing the stupid stuff that comes out of this woman's mouth. The other one, Donald Trump, spent 50 years scamming everybody, you know, and trying to stay out of jail. Notice does not give any sort of actual substance to that. Makes a massive claim scamming. At least when I say Joe Biden scams the country and steals, I brought the receipts. I actually showed you the checks. I showed you the documents. I showed you whatever James Comey showed you. here on the Bald Brad Show. We did an hour-long show strictly all about the Biden family corruption. I took you back over a decade. I started, I think, in 2010, maybe 2008, sometimes 2004 with Burisma Holdings, and I walked you through the whole thing and showed the receipts. At least I back my stuff up sometimes. You know what I'm talking about? No, Joe, we don't. Joy, we don't. I really miss Biden. I feel like we are safe. Mic on? Hey, Joy. There was just a terrorist attack, you idiot. Like 2 weeks ago. Hey, Joy, we keep arresting terrorists. Just because they didn't commit a terrorist attack doesn't mean we haven't arrested them. We've covered it. So why don't you take this thing that has allegedly a brain in it and pull it out? Pull it out of you. You know what? Let's wake up here, Joy. Okay? People are being raped. People are being murdered. People are being sold off into sex slavery. Joy, there's 340,000 children that have been sold off in the sex trafficking, drug trafficking, forced labor, slavery. There's more people now in slavery than there was at the actual height of slavery, Joy. But this is what happens, you guys, when you live in an echo chamber in a shell and nobody actually challenges you on, because if they wanted to actually have somebody that challenged them, they would have on like a Ben Shapiro or somebody, but they don't want to do that because they know what would happen, right? Just smacking them. I didn't have to worry. We're done with you, Joy. We're done. But what I will say is, joy to the world. Joey's gone. He's leaving the White House. He's getting the F out. He destroyed the country so Trump can fix it. So Trump can fix it. So Trump can fix the country we love. Get the hell out, Joe. Joe, get out of the office. Do you think there's going to be poop stains on the floor? Sorry, I don't know why I said that. Patriot Raider says the humiliation of Joe Biden being rejected by his own party is a fitting end to a life spent betraying and selling out this country. So long, Joe. Shout out to you, man. Hell yeah. Truth. Facts. Facts. Can you imagine how bad it smells on the set of The View? Ugh. Icky. Hey, let's do this. I have a little bit of it's Friday episode. Again, if you're new to the show, folks, we're normally more serious here. But it's a Friday episode, so we have a little bit more fun, a little bit more loosey-goosey. Hey, how much, and be honest, would they have to pay you to go watch The View, like in person? You're one of those people in the stands, and you have to clap. You have to do the whole bit. And if you really want to go full blown, yes, shave your head. They're not going to make you do that part, but like, you know, dye your hair, put in pigtails. Maybe some of the guys in here can wear a dress. How much would they have to pay you to sit in the audience and listen to The View? Mind you, just because it's an hour-long show doesn't mean it's an hour-long taping. Throw it in the chat. Now, for me, I'm going to be fair. I'll be honest. Probably not that much. I'll clap. But, dude, I don't know if I'd be able to stop laughing. It would be the best comedy show I've seen in a while. Boy. Well, The View in person, no way. We have Connecticut parolee board pardons an illegal immigrant pedophile who says he might reoffend. This is not funny, by the way. It is not funny. The insanity that we live in, the craziness of everything is funny to me. And that's why I love politics. I get upset over things that can really harm people, like this individual here. But other times I have to laugh about it, or else life is just doom and gloom. A convicted pedophile, an illegal migrant, was released from a Connecticut prison last month after his sympathetic parolee board mulled how to best help him avoid deportation. I'm gonna lose it. It's Friday. I'm taking a sip to wet my whistle because if you haven't caught on now, it's my therapeutic mechanism. My psychologist, what do they call it? Psychiatrist? I don't really have one, but the psychiatrist told me to huzzah and to drink your coffee. I don't really have a psychiatrist, but maybe I should get one. Pat, thank you so much. 5 more for singing lessons. Brad, screw you. That's why we have the best community. So you got Pat gave me $5 over at Rumble, told me to get singing lessons. So this is why we have the best community, man. If you're just new to the show, welcome, because we do. The patrons in the chat go full blown. And look, just because I'm the host doesn't mean that you can't poke fun at me. I'll take it. I love it. All right. This is bullcrap, though. This me no likey. And you know who's also doing something similar to this? Similar, not apples to apples, oranges to oranges, is Gavin Newsom. So Gavin Newsom is spending billions of dollars, we saw this, to make sure that they go against Tom Homan, the new ICE director under Donald Trump, so that people are not deported from the state of California. This is a blanket statement, folks. This includes criminals. This includes pedophiles, sex traffickers, drug traffickers, the whole bit. The whole gamut. That isn't, that, I really do. When I start stuttering, that means I legitimately try to comprehend and understand. I can't do it. And that's where I wish we do have Democrats in the chat every now and then so that we could ask them. We know that they won't give us an answer, very similar to what we see from Karine Jean-Pierre, and thank God she's gone. But they can never give us an answer, like an actual answer of like, hey, why do you want to allow illegal people, like criminals, like murderers, sex traffickers, drug, like in your country? Can you explain that to me? I don't get it. Well, the Trump administration, the parolee board decided would not be able to get its act together fast enough to deport the illegal migrant pedophile before his 30-day immigration detainer runs out. They can't elect the Speaker of the House, one board member scoffed, meaning they're making fun of us. Go, oh, you can't get Speaker of the House. This 52-year-old was serving 5 years in prison for felony second-degree sexual assault against a child between 13 and 15 years old. He was convicted of sexually assaulting the child on March 11th, 2020, just as the pandemic lockdowns were starting, and he was sentenced in November the next year. During the hearing on New Year's Eve, he said he cannot promise he will not offend again. The dude's like, yeah, I'm going to go sexually assault another child, most likely. And you know what these Democrats do? Oh, goody, that's what we were hoping for. Wow. Woo. We thought that you were going to say that you weren't going to offend anymore. Oh, that is a relief. Can you believe it, Jim? Can you believe that we thought this guy? Can you believe? Yeah, Nancy owes you $5. She thought that he was not going to offend again. Oh, God. Wow, we got lucky with this one. This is how the Democrats think, man. It's disgusting. It's criminal. It's freaking sadistic. You know, here's the sad thing. You know, I joke around with stuff like that. I talk to like a person that's not even there. I make up a name, you know, and we just kind of shoot from the hip on this stuff. We have a little fun, a little laughter. How many times, you guys, have I done something like that? And then we're doing a show like a week or two later, having fun, reading an article. And then it turns out to be true. It turns out to be true. It's not even satire. It's like, oh my God, I made a joke about that. It turned out to be real. I remember how I made the joke a couple weeks ago where I was like, hey, maybe I should stop joking around because maybe what I'm saying is actually coming to fruition. I'm a prophet. It's not a fortune teller, right? I mean, what are those people called that can actually like, tell the future? All right, folks, we're getting the lottery numbers. What do you want? You want 47? You want 47 as the Powerball? We want 2? I picked 47 because Donald Trump. I'm not sure if you saw what I did there. That's for the people that are awake. All right, so that's sadistic. But here we go. I got the clip. You might just spit out your coffee going, wait, Brad, you have the receipts? Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Come back. He has the footage.
The Trump administration is going to be in a position in the next 30 days, which is what they'll hold him to deport him. So I think that having the judge in place that can hear what Mr. Magliore has to say in an unbiased way would be a good thing. And obviously, the hold on an ICE detainer is only 30 days, which means that if we parole him today, January 31st, that the state is no longer obliged to hold somebody past that date.
What you just saw is the Connecticut Board of Parole's
Yeah, Brad, that wasn't him admitting to it. No, I got you. Hold on. Give me a second. Come on. I have to make sure we bring the receipts because the Democrats start screaming.
I can't say I promise that this not gonna happen, because that's not always a thing when you say, oh, I promise. No, I'm not gonna say I promise, but I will definitely try to do my best to keep myself away from situations like that again.
I can't promise.
Crazy. Look, I can either scream into the mic and lose it, or I could just laugh because I want to have a good weekend. Everybody in the chat, the hundreds of people watching this, and it will turn into thousands by the end of the day. Democrats love this stuff. I've said it for years. They salivate over it. They love this stuff, you guys. They want to remove your child's genitals. They want to gender affirm them, meaning if a guy thinks he's a girl, that they will affirm the fact that he's a girl, meaning build an entire world around him that is a fake reality and alter it to fit his narrative. That is some sadistic shit, dude. If you are messing with somebody's reality and playing into their delusions, you're a sadistic fuck, man. And somebody needs to say it out loud, and that deserves a cuss, because that's sadistic. And then you're going to go help them lop off their genitals, give them puberty blockers, hormone enhancers. That's going to castrate them so that they can probably never have children again. Is some really, really sadistic stuff. But they love it, you guys. Oh, they love it. Just like they love illegal immigration. Just how they love having terrorists here. How do I know that they love it? Look at their voting behavior. Look at their patterns. Look at their voting behavior for women's sports. The Lake and Riley Act. I mean, the list of voting behavior and the actions elicited by the Democrat Party proves my point time and time again. These people in the Democrat Party, especially mainly the leadership, are sick people. Disgusting. Well, guess we'll transition into other news. No pun intended. Get to work helping Californians. Johnson slams Newsom after California governor complains about wildfire aid. Folks, we spend, I'll get to the clip. We spent and are spending, I think it's upwards of $25 billion as a state between homeless, illegal immigration, and climate change. Why is that so important? Yes, you heard that correctly. I said 25 billion with a B, billion. Astronomical amount of money on just three things. Homeless, illegal immigration, climate change. Folks, if you just took 2% of that money, you'd be able to fund the entire fire department in the state of California. We have not been funding it. We're underfunded. We don't have enough firefighters in the state. This jackass here is being told that he's a good leader by people, which we've read. We showed the receipts. We showed people's comments. Oh, you're such a good leader. My house is ash, but man, you did such a great job, Gavin. No, he didn't. He sucks. People need to hear that. He sucks. Gavin, maybe I can help you pull your head out of your ass real quick here. If maybe you stop spending Just $2 billion. $2 billion. Completely fund the fire department alone. Now, if you stop doing your climate change bullshit and giving millions of dollars here, billions of dollars here on homeless that hasn't done anything, it's just exacerbated the problem because we all know that you're corrupt as shit and all your buddies that create these nonprofits to fix the problem, that you're just making them millionaires and billionaires. Yeah, if you stop doing that, Gavin, you actually probably would not have any wildfires at all. And if you did, they'd be really small because you'd either put them out really quickly or you can actually get rid of the brush by paying the billions of dollars to make sure it doesn't happen. And people might go, well, we're spending billions of dollars to clean up the forest. Yeah, but you'd probably spend a lot more billions of dollars in saving lives if, if you let that thing just run roughshod over your state, like we're kind of seeing right now. Well, here's this idiot here.
Ever in California questioned whether or not we as taxpayers in the largest state in the union should support the people of Louisiana at a time of emergency and need. We never conditioned it. We never talked about putting the full faith and credit of the United States of America with the debt ceiling bill so we can get tax cuts for billionaires and corporations that don't need it, and then put at risk the lives of hundreds of thousands of Americans that happen to live in California, a state with millions and millions of Trump supporters, Speaker Johnson. And Mr. President-elect, millions of your supporters are out here. They need your help, they need your empathy, they need your care, whatever compassion you can express, as opposed to condemnation and divisive language that has aided and embedded nothing except mis and disinformation that's flamed fear and flamed a lot of anxiety for folks that are simply trying to recover.
Thank you, God. The Lord knew. He saw my face. He's like, I won't subject you to any more of this, Brad.
And at the same time, our first responders trying to address the emergency at hand, which still hasn't been fully buttoned up.
I'm being tortured. Can you imagine just playing that on loop? Ugh. He sucks, man. He sucks. So what you have is a tweet. Speaker Johnson responded, instead of making highly produced clapback videos with social media influencers, you should get to work helping Californians. Yeah. Now, for everybody in the chat that might be going, well, what do you care about California, Brad? It's not like you live there. I do live here. I live in fucking Orange County. I live here. I have to deal with this bullshit all the time and all the other progressive lefties. Now, yes, I did say OC. OC's Republican territory. Okay, this is Trump territory. That's why Trump, when he comes to California, where does he go? He usually goes to Orange County. This is where the red's at, baby. Now, if you noticed, I just want to call this out. You will notice if you ever come to California, Southern California, you will notice a drastic difference between LA County and Orange County. LA County dumpster fire ran by Democrats. Orange County nice and clean, not everywhere, but predominantly, and ran mostly by Republicans. It's the areas that are ran by Democrats in Orange County, oddly enough, that are just complete dumpster fires usually. But I'm telling people commenting all the time. There's actually videos on YouTube where people they go from LA into Orange County like, wow, this is really nice. Wow. Yeah. Because our brains are working. Wow, why are our roads so nice in Orange County? Well, because that's where our tax money is supposed to go. And we don't have to spend it on homeless because we kick the homeless out or we put them in shelters rather than having them sleep on the streets. Yeah. But when you incentivize bad behaviors, you're going to get said bad behaviors. I know it's not rocket science. It's not even a novel idea, but to them it is. To them, they can't rationalize it. I'm telling you folks, we've been beating a dead horse for 4 years on it. I don't know what it is with the lack of connections and the simple solutions that they're not willing to do to take care of the state of California and others. And if you think this is just a problem in the state of California, all this stuff unravels into your states, especially now more than ever, because the Democrats are destroying the state and they don't want to live in what they destroyed. So guess what? They're going to all your states and destroying it. And I'm 100% correct on that. So a lot of people don't like California, and I don't blame you. Now, heads up, if you see a conservative Republican, I always say this, odds are, statistically actually, through surveys and studies, they're more Republican and conservative than you are. Even if you're in a dominant red state and you got a guy coming in like me from Orange County, that I'm in California, that lives and breathes freaking conservatism, you want to welcome that person with open arms. Have me over for dinner. Let's get into a little bit of the chats real quick before we move on to the next article. Remember, kids, if you use a blowtorch to remove body parts, that would be, I can't say that. They won't, I can't say that. Jesus, that's why I hesitate to read Rumble chats. Democrats pocket most of the Democrat oligarchs' lame money grab programs to pocket most of it. Isn't that what is taking down Russia? Make a good point, Dan. Make a very good point. I feel like he's trying to be like Matthew McConaughey, but it's not working. That's actually a really good point. I see what you see. I haven't thought of that analogy before, but I totally see it. Yep, they're hiding by Monday. I don't know who's hiding. Who's hiding? Who's hiding? So if you're in California, can we not vote? Yeah. You guys are, yeah. Well, we know what happens when YouTube's coming at me, man. YouTube's coming at me. We're still cruising. We're not going anywhere, folks. Hang out, hang tight. Wanted to make sure I give a shout out to this. Look, there's a lot of animals that are in need, and we got to take care of our pets. And one of these sponsors is called Positive. If you have a dog, well, we've all been there where a pup goes from full-blown energy to just completely sick and miserable in like the snap of a fingers in an instant. And usually it's at the worst time. So that's why we're calling vets in the middle of the night or on the weekends, trying to find a clinic that will just take us in, take care of you and the pet. It's a terrible way to manage your dog's health, not to mention your stress levels and your freaking monthly budget. Things are getting only more expensive. That's why people are getting the pet emergency kit called Positive, P-A-W, Positive. It contains critical medications and supplies that can not only keep you out of the veterinary office, but may even save your dog's life, which is important. Their kits contain critical medications like activated charcoal, septic powder, and more. It might save your dog's life. Head over to positive.com and use code STUDIO to get 15% off your pet emergency kit. Again, it's promo code STUDIO pet emergency kit. It's nice to have that, folks. Look, for some of us, they are our kids, the pets. I don't have any. I grew up with animals. So that's why I always like to give them a shout out, and they pay us and sponsor us to do that. So greatly appreciate them, and it's a good product. So make sure you go check it out. You know what I mean? See what they got. And the reason why I say check it out is sometimes, hey, we got friends and family, and it's just a good gift. Some of the stuff might not be necessarily for you, but it might be a great gift for somebody else. Case in point, my book, Trojan Horse, is a phenomenal gift. I rarely plug it during the middle of the show. I usually wait till after for the hardcore fans. But Trojan Horse is a book that I wrote. I put a lot of time into it. And right now you can get that bad boy on Amazon. It's on sale. Oh yeah, it's definitely on sale. That's 24% off. Hardcover's really on sale. Oh, shit. So I don't put the sales. You guys, you can get the hardcover right now for 41% off. There's only 4 left in stock. Dude, I haven't seen it since I wrote this. It came out a year ago, 2 years ago. Almost 2 years ago. Damn, it's been that long. 41% off. I gotta talk to somebody. I'm not making money off of it. But really, that is a nasty deal. I'm stressing out over that number. But anyways, go over it. 4 copies left. Great gift ideas for a conservative Republican. Would appreciate if you could support small creators such as myself. Many people, however, you cannot wake up the spill time. I feel like I'm jumping into some people's conversations, which is fine. It's a little awkward for me. All right, in other news here, Bill Maher unloads on Newsom. And no, not in a sexual way for everybody over at Rumble. I know what you're thinking. Rumble's the rowdy crowd. Demands to know why he didn't cut red tape when there were not fires. Bill, you have a phenomenal question and something I've been asking myself, for years, if not maybe decades, as to why he didn't cut the red tape. Very, very good question.
Newsom, but there's going to be a recall on Karen Bass. We will see what happens. But a lot of people think she failed in terms of leadership and, where budget cuts may have affected the fire department. And there are other people who are saying how
budget cuts may have affected the fire department. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't mean to cuss, but no, I do mean to cuss. What are you talking about? It did. It legitimately did. The fire department was on TV like 2 months ago complaining about the budget, that people are going to die if you don't increase the budget. And guess what happened? It did. May have. It did. God.
How dare you even talk about that in the middle of the fire? So where do you stand?
Well, we all took a lot of heat. I'm with the people who want to hold politicians accountable. You know, we shouldn't talk about it now. It's so funny to hear that coming out of the mouths of liberals, because they hate it when conservatives say that after a gun tragedy, which is what conservatives always say after a mass shooting. This is not the time to politicize it, and then it never is. It is absolutely the time to talk about it. This is what my editorial is about Friday night on the show. Was it always going to be bad? Of course. Their arguments are not wrong. We built the city in a terrible place to build a city. Global warming absolutely does make hot stuff and weather worse. Winds were ridiculous. Yeah, I get all that. And they also made a lot of errors. And if you held Bush accountable for Katrina and thought Rudy Giuliani was an idiot for putting the command center in the World Trade Center, which is the place they attacked for and were most likely to attack again, which he was, well, then you have to have some intellectual honesty and criticize your team when they don't do it right. And they've had a long time to get this righter. It was always going to be bad. All of these were always going to be bad, and they always seem to be the worst they ever possibly could be.
All right. I think we had enough of Bill Maher. Or at least I have. Can't keep listening. Look, sometimes I like the things he says, but the part that kind of got me there was this right here. Where is it? Now, as far as the red tape, I see that they're all, Newsom, Bass, they're all saying we're going to cut red tape as if they're doing us a favor. My question is, well, if you can't do it now, if you can do it now, why didn't you always do it? Yeah, but you also led, Bill, with the idea of holding people accountable, and you want to hold their feet to the flames, but you don't. We had an opportunity to recall Gavin Newsom, and maybe I'm wrong and I'm willing to eat my own words, but why is it the Democrat Party didn't recall him? And why are they not recalling him now? So this is a constant theme, and it's called insanity. When you keep voting for the same thing but expecting different results, it is insane. And it has been going on for a long time. Gavin has easily, like, you can just observe it. It's an observable fact that he has ran this state into the ground. And for some ungodly reason, and it's always been this case as far as I'm aware, is that when a Democrat drives a state into the ground, they're elevated to the highest levels of office. And you want to know how I know that? It's because I can name them. I can name them. Who? Well, Gavin Newsom for one. Kamala Harris for another one. Look at Joe Biden and what he's done. He hasn't done much for Delaware. People will say he did, but I think that's really questionable. What's another one? Adam Schiff. Easily the worst congressperson in Congress. Number one in my books. Number one. From California. Maxine Waters. Another person. Terrible at her job. Complete buffoon. An idiot. Should we keep going down the list? Karen Bass, another one. She sucked before she was LA mayor. She was like a council member or something like that for like Compton or something. She was elevated because she sucks at her job. That's what happens. Let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know. Says, oh my God, thank God. Joanne says, oh my God, thank God this Gavin guy did not get the presidential ticket. Oh, well, 2028's coming up. Yep, 2028's coming up. Don't you worry. No. I would be bewildered if he's not on the ticket. The guy burned down the state. What Democrat can make that claim? Not many. He knows by doing this and allowing this to happen, he has a shoo-in nomination of the Democrat Party. There's no other person out there that's allowed their state to burn down and has sole responsibility for allowing it to happen. No, he sits on the throne in terms of screw ups. Yeah, can't budget, can't fund local police departments or fire departments, allows illegal immigrants to come in. I mean, this guy, for a checkbox, he's like, you know how people want that safety precaution to make sure they do everything necessary to get that said thing that they're striving for? That's Gavin Newsom, making sure he checks off every possible box there so that he knows he's good to go to get that 2028 nomination. Let's have a little bit of fun here real quick. Scott Jennings schools ex-Kamala Harris aide over Biden's true legacy. We got the clip. I always get a kick out of hearing Scott Jennings just slapping CNN around, and it's just a joy. It really is.
Kamala Harris or Karine Jean-Pierre ever lied?
I don't know. What are you talking about?
I mean,
I know where you're going with this, but that's not the point.
You're,
Donald Trump stands up at the podium every day and delivers lies.
Your speech is about the truth, and one thing about Biden that has always vexed Republicans is that he spends a lot of time talking about him being the center of truth and the restoration of the soul of the nation, and yet he and his people spend a heck of a lot of time undermining that very talking point, up to and including this year with the massive cover-up of his own
Scott,
condition.
How about
and so
lying to the American people doing COVID?
Well,
right?
about what?
How about that? I mean, drink bleach, right? I could go
Didn't
on and on.
debunked.
That it's not as bad as the flu. I mean, all of those things, and the reality.
It wasn't as bad as the flu. It wasn't. If you look at the numbers, and it depends at which point you're segregating the data. But if you have like multiple comorbidities, and yeah, it's worse than the flu. But by far and large, no, we literally shut down an entire world, an entire planet, for a statistic that just doesn't meet the condition to shut down an entire planet. I mean, people lost their shit over a 99.99% survival rating or something. It's crazy.
Is 500,
You're doing it right now.
500,000 people lost their lives because the president wasn't honest with the country
I don't
about
understand.
the dangers of COVID.
Are you saying the virus was listening to
my point
Donald
is that
Trump?
lies have consequences. And that is...
I just want to make sure I understand that your position is that Donald Trump's words induced the virus to kill people.
No, what Donald Trump's words did was prevented people from protecting themselves and their neighbors, and 500,000 plus people lost their lives.
See,
that was my point. And more importantly,
crazy remark.
Because of his lies, he didn't create an infrastructure from the governors all the way down to get shots in arms, to get the economy open again.
Jake,
so lies have consequences,
honestly,
and that's what Biden was talking about today. We have to be aware of that.
This is crazy.
And honest
I'm sorry,
about
this is insane.
Folks, after everything we just been through the last 4 years, I said this was going to happen, right? I even know the title of the episode that I said this was going to happen. Old lies, new story. Old lies, crafting a new narrative, a new story. And what is that old lie? COVID. What's the new story? That Joe Biden solved it. Yeah, Joe Biden's a hero. Yep. What they're going to do here is they're going to try to revise history, and you're seeing it in real time. I said it was going to happen, and it is happening. That they are going to try and make Joe Biden seem like the second coming of Christ. That he did all these good things. Everything you went through never existed. It wasn't real. But yet they're going to call you conspiracy theorists. They're going to call you this or that. Folks, this is nothing. This knucklehead here, yeah, that's nothing. Wait till you get Kash Patel in there, Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., the whole brigade, and they start releasing all this information like the Twitter files again. You haven't seen nothing yet. It's going to look like The Exorcism. Their heads are going to be spinning around going, oh, God, Joey's great. Like, demonic people. You demonic people. Something wrong with them. Now, some people might say there's something wrong with me, and maybe you're right. But I don't care. I live most of my life by myself. And my significant other, but mostly by myself. How do you think I get so weird? I like to have fun with y'all. I like hanging out with you. Let's see what we got going on in the chat really quick here. We're heading into the weekend. Joe Bryband, they just literally kept on replacing him with clones, and then finally AI when they ran out. Yeah. Jennifer Myers, I'm sure the Bidens put a hit on Trump. Is that why human traffic in Delaware, child foster care by Jill Stevenson. Biden, maybe. Who knows? Has anyone seen Tucker's Trump movie on his channel? Is it worth subscribing to see it? I have not seen it, not sure yet. We will be back over the weekend. I'll kind of do some videos most likely. But definitely Monday's the inauguration. We're not going to have a show, but we're going to be streaming the inauguration. So I'm going to be here. We will have a show. I just don't want you to think like it's me going over news articles. The big day is the inauguration, and I don't want to overshadow that with some sort of news. Pray for the inauguration, folks. Even if you're not a believer, look, we as Christians and whatever faith you're in, it does say in the scriptures, the power of prayer is effective. And I really do believe that. And so I think this is an orchestration by God to allow Donald Trump to be in office based on everything that I've seen in the miracles that have happened, meaning going through his ear rather than his head. And I am actually nervous for it. I'm excited, but I'm also nervous. I just want it to go really, really well. And I would really love to spend that time with all of you on Monday. So with that being said, I hope all of you have a lovely weekend. Take care of one another. Maybe tell somebody that you love them. I'm going live probably at our normal time. So it's a good question. Daniel asked what time Monday morning? Probably my normal time. And worst case is like while we're waiting for the inauguration, we'll just hang out and you guys can just jump in when you want. And you know, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I check my community tab. And I'll update you more, but I'm gonna try to go live when I can since it's the East Coast, right? So if I do 6, that's 9 on the East Coast, and I would imagine somewhere around that time. So we shall see. We shall see. Will you cover the whole inauguration live? Yeah, I'll be here for the whole damn thing, HK. Oh yeah, baby. It's gonna be a long time for me. My back's gonna hurt, but hell, I'm gonna have a good time hanging out with all you people nonetheless. See y'all Monday. Have a great weekend. Same to you. All right, folks, I got to get to work. I got to get dressed really quick. Take care of one another. Pray for Donald Trump. Pray for this country. Have a fabulous weekend, and I'll see you next time, I guess Monday here on The Bald Brad Show. Take care, Patriots.